Hello everybody, my name is Jack Stewart and I am a Business Development Director at Tektelic Communications. Today I'm pleased to deliver a presentation on the adoption of mass IoT solutions, specifically focusing on the key challenges that we've seen in the ecosystem today when it comes to the deployment of mass IoT solutions, and some of the key considerations we need to focus on moving forward to ensure successful deployment and successful scaling of IoT. Now, if you were to do a Google search of what are the most important issues impacting the scaling of IoT today, you're going to get hundreds, maybe thousands of different results from security issues, device availability issues, technology issues. But we're going to focus on some of the key issues that we've identified in the ecosystem in this presentation and focus on solutions of how we can overcome these. Now I'm going to start by focusing on three of the most widely discussed and widely talked about IoT technologies that this ecosystem has been very aware of in the past few years, starting with the cellular technology. So the cellular players have for a long time been promoting IoT solutions, sometimes low power wide area network solutions, sometimes higher bandwidth solutions. But we've seen very little success when it comes to large-scale mass adoption IoT in the network. Oftentimes this is simply because cellular connections are very expensive for the end user, and really there needs to be a common solution that exists in the market that is going to allow users to quickly and easily get onboarded with an IoT solution, and we just haven't seen it with the cellular market to date. Another big barrier is that the cellular operators just don't see the ROI. They don't see large profits from IoT solutions, at least not yet. And that sort of lack of path forward to revenue has really sort of limited the ability for IoT solutions to be adopted, at least on a large scale. Most of the IoT opportunities that we come across in the ecosystem today, even in the LoRaWAN ecosystem, IoT opportunities that we view as major volume opportunities are often 10 to 25 times smaller than what a cellular operator would even be interested in looking at. And so the business model just doesn't seem to always make sense from sort of a high bandwidth cellular perspective. Secondly, let's take a look at Sigfox. I know all of us are quite familiar with the Sigfox story, but really, what were some of the key challenges that prevented the Sigfox technology from leading to mass-scale IoT adoption? And really, the main one has to do with exclusivity, and specifically regional exclusivity. So we know that the way that the Sigfox business model worked was, an operator would be given exclusive access to a certain territory, and they'd be the ones responsible for building out the network in that entire region. And that model just didn't promote scalability. And I mean, the intentions of the operators was, of course, to grow the technology and get as many use cases on the network as possible. But when you have one player in a very large area servicing a massive market, there's just too many challenges to grow exponentially. And so for that reason, we believe the Sigfox model failed. Also, the licensing fee that was associated with that as well killed most, if not all, of the business that Sigfox was trying to address. And so from a mass IoT deployment perspective, Sigfox was it didn't meet the expectations of the market. Finally, we'll look at Helium, which is, of course, on the top of everybody's mind right now. Helium has invested over $1 billion on a publicly funded network, and today we just don't see a lot of IoT traffic being used on that network. Helium has had a difficult time, signing customers up to the network. A lot of the people who are deploying helium gateways or helping to build out the network are doing so with the goal in mind to provide proof of coverage and get this cryptocurrency and really make money, when in order for IoT to be sort of a mass scale adoption, we need to see real use cases. We need to be solving real problems on that network, and it just hasn't happened quite yet. So these are just three business models, three technologies that have taken a very different approach to IoT and to solving problems with IoT, and for their own sort of different reasons, they've failed to achieve mass scale. Now, each technology has faced a different set of challenges. LoRaWAN has also faced its own challenges, but we also believe that LoRaWAN is a perfect technology to promote mass scaling of IoT solutions. Now, to this point in time, we've seen the most success in the LoRaWAN ecosystem with enterprise and private LoRaWAN networks, which address real problems for real customers and are helping to achieve a good ROI. Public LoRaWAN networks have had a little bit of a lower ROI simply because the investment that's involved to light up a public network is often quite immense. And the amount of network utilization that's required to promote a decent or a good ROI on that is very high. So it takes more time to kind of see the results that you would see more quickly in a private or enterprise scale LoRaWAN network. The second reason why we see lack of mass deployment when it comes to IoT solutions in the LoRaWAN ecosystem is that a lot of the solutions being deployed today require a great deal of support, engineering support, technical support, in order to get up and running, to prove the technology, to prove out the use case. And the need for so much intervention and so much support can often slow down the adoption rate of the technology as customers are waiting for support to get up and running, even for small 1, 2, 3 device deployments. Another challenge that we've seen is really poor quality equipment available in the ecosystem. LoRaWAN, as a newer technology, experiences the same issues that any new technology to the market experiences, where there's many different players offering many different devices, many different solutions of varying level of quality, and sometimes when you have a large influx of vendors entering a new market very quickly, oftentimes the quality of the products, the quality of the solutions that are available in the market aren't great. And when customers are utilizing these products, utilizing these solutions, trying a technology for the first time, and they're not getting the results that they expect, they're going to start to doubt the effectiveness of the technology, when really sometimes it's more of an issue with the actual product that they're using. So some of the reason why IoT mass scaling has been challenging in the LoRaWAN ecosystem is simply due to availability of high quality, reliable products and solutions. So as we mentioned, most of the IoT solutions being deployed today require some level of technical expertise in order to be successful in deploying, managing, and operating the network. But we need to consider who the end user for these solutions are going to be when we're developing this solution. Oftentimes the person deploying the solution isn't going to have a high level of technical expertise, and that's okay. But we need to make sure that the solution is easy to deploy, easy to manage, easy to operate for anybody, regardless of their level of technical expertise. LoRaWAN as a technology has really seen a large sort of adoption rate of new customers in the last 6-7 years since companies have been deploying LoRaWAN solutions. And now we're at a point where we need to assist these customers in scaling to mass deployments. And there's a few different strategies we can take to help that along. Now, the first and most important one is that As IoT solution designers, we need to be designing solutions that are solving real problems for real customers and real problems that don't already have an easily deployed substitute available today. So we don't want to be looking for solutions that can already be solved using other competing technologies and are already being successfully solved using other technologies. We want to find those use cases where LoRaWAN is truly the ideal technology. It's a real problem. There isn't a widely available real solution to solve that problem yet. And then we can utilize our technology to provide a great end-to-end solution to solve that problem. There's really 4 key things that we need to look at when we're developing a true IoT solution. The first one, as I mentioned, is that it addresses a real and common problem that impacts many businesses, many people in the market. We want to deploy solutions that can be easily validated by potential customers, meaning they're plug-and-play solutions. You can quickly prove the technology, quickly prove the use case. We want to be developing solutions that can be easily integrated with a variety of IoT platforms. So exclusivity does not work. We want to have interoperable solutions that you can mix and match. Anybody's device can work with anybody's gateway, which can work with anybody's network server, which can feed data to anybody's application. And finally, supporting LoRaWAN solutions for any operator. Like I mentioned, exclusivity is really just putting up a barrier. We don't want to restrict our customers from deploying solutions. We want to enable them to deploy solutions with as many devices and as many gateways and as many users as possible, and interoperability is really the best way to accommodate that. Now, you can deploy devices, you can deploy gateways, you can collect data, but data is really only as good as what you do with it. So you need to have some way to visualize that data in a way that makes sense and in a way that you can make smart decisions with. And for that reason, it's very important that the application ecosystem, the analytics ecosystem, is being developed just as strongly as the hardware ecosystem as well. All of the devices that are deployed should have easy to use, easy to onboard, easy to visualize applications that can be customized to meet the unique needs of the users and their solutions, have well-defined APIs to support the most common IoT platforms, and all of this will really just speed up the adoption of IoT. It's also very important to ensure that those deploying the solutions are knowledgeable, but more importantly, the support is available. So engineering support is available for customers to help them, integrate solutions to their own applications. If somebody's deploying a solution and they get to a point where they need some sort of assistance, some sort of support, and they don't get it, or at least they don't get it in a timely manner, the entire thing is just going to stop. And we've seen that over and over again with many different technologies. So the availability of support and assistance from the solution providers to the solution deployers and end customers is an extremely important consideration when it comes to mass IoT scaling. So Tektelic has taken all of these things that I've discussed into account, and in doing so, we've developed many different end-to-end IoT solutions into our portfolio. Today I'm going to focus on 4 of these, just to give you an idea of how Tektelic has taken these important considerations and developed end-to-end solutions based on these. The first solution is Tektelic's eDoctor and eBeat solution, which is a simple and low-cost digital medicine solution which reduces medical personnel efforts and costs and improves quality and accuracy of patient care, whether that's in hospitals or seniors' homes or even vulnerable citizens who are at home and continuously need to be monitored. So Tektelic developed an end-to-end solution comprised of wearable devices, a very easy to navigate application that allows users to visualize vital health signs of the people wearing the devices. Now, when we developed this solution, we knew that the people deploying and managing and operating this solution are not engineers, are not highly technical people. They're very, very smart people, but these are doctors and nurses and assistants at assisted living facilities and caregivers and those sorts of individuals who may not have a high degree of LoRaWAN technical expertise. So when the solution was developed, it was with that in mind. What is the technical expertise of the end user? Let's make sure that they can be successful in deploying, managing, and operating this solution. The next solution is the Tempo solution, which is a simple to install and operate solution which allows you to book meeting rooms in offices, classrooms, gyms, other public buildings, and it's fully integrated with Microsoft Outlook Calendar, Google Calendar, ensuring the most effective facility utilization and real-time meeting room booking status, providing in the background very detailed analytics about the room that you're monitoring. So again, this solution is a great end-to-end IoT solution. It's comprised of devices, it's comprised of a very comprehensive application, but we know that the person who's actually going to be deploying and managing and operating this solution is a facility manager, maybe an office manager, somebody like that. So we need to develop the solution understanding that that's going to be the person who is deploying the solution, making it easy to deploy, easy to use, easy to navigate, and ensuring that support is available whenever it's needed. In addition to this, we've also developed a solution called Memo, which is a customizable e-ink display solution to display any custom text message or graphic. It assists with coordinating facility utilization, maybe displaying corporate announcements or simple advertisements, maybe showing schedules, reports, facility analytics. You can even showcase sensor data on this screen as well. So again, just a very versatile end-to-end IoT solution that is easy to deploy by anybody regardless of their technical expertise. And finally, we have our Breeze solution, which is a low-cost environmental and air quality monitoring solution for offices, schools, universities, gyms, and really any other public facility or private home. It monitors indoor air quality conditions and allows users to adjust their HVAC systems accordingly based on human presence, CO2 levels, temperature, humidity. So again, a very comprehensive, very high-value IoT solution that's going to be deployed by a facility manager, a building operator, somebody who has very in-depth knowledge of their building, but maybe not in-depth knowledge of LoRaWAN, and the solution was developed with that in mind to ensure that it can easily be deployed, managed, operated by anybody. So in closing, it's very important to ensure that the solutions that we're developing from an IoT perspective are solving a real problem that impacts a large population or many businesses and is the only one of its kind or can't be replaced by easy to deploy alternatives. This provides a means for anybody in the IoT ecosystem to deploy a LoRaWAN solution regardless of their technical expertise, and we have to develop solutions that are dependable, easy to integrate with a well-described API, interoperable, so you can use a solution with any application. And of course, it's also very important to ensure that there's a strong engineering team support behind the customer integration. So we don't want IoT projects to just stop because our customers can't get the support they need. We need to ensure that we're supporting them. And IoT adoption is a marathon, not a sprint. So when we're developing these solutions, we need to remember that we're developing solutions to create a great foundation for IoT as we move into the future. We're not going to be able to solve every single problem today or tomorrow, but we need to create that foundation that the LoRaWAN technology is the de facto technology for certain types of applications. And we need to understand that it's going to take time, but as long as we stay focused and keep all of the considerations that we've just discussed in mind while we're developing solutions, over the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see great success from an IoT scaling perspective.